For nothing is so naturally haughty and harsh and hard to govern as a man who has acquired a reputation for success. For the same reason, it is difficult to act as an adviser about governing to those who hold office, because they are afraid to accept reason as their own governor, for fear that it will make them subservient to the obligations of their office, and so reduce the benefit of their power. These people do not know the example of Theopompus, king of the Spartans, who was the first in Sparta to involve the ephors in the affairs of the kings. When his wife reproached him with the complaint that he would leave to his children an office that was weaker than the one he had received, he replied, "Actually, it will be stronger, to the same degree that it is more stable." For by letting go of the excessive and absolute character of his office, he escaped envy, and so avoided danger. And yet, when Theopompus diverted royal power to the ephors, which was like diverting the current of a great stream, he deprived himself of whatever power he granted to them. Reason, that has been conditioned by philosophy, however, once it has been established as a counselor and protector of the one who governs, removes the unstable element of power and leaves behind what is sound, just as happens when we apply reason to the maintenance of our health. 2. Most kings and leaders, however, lack sense, and so they imitate the unskilled sculptors who believe that their colossal statues appear great and strong when they fashion their figures with a mighty stride, a straining body, and a gaping mouth. These kings and leaders, because they speak with a low-pitched voice, cast a harsh gaze, affect a cantankerous manner, and hold themselves aloof in their daily lives, suppose that they are imitating the dignity and solemnity of leadership. In fact, they are not at all different from those colossal statues, which on the exterior possess a heroic and divine facade, but inside are filled with earth and stone and lead. In the case of the statues, however, this weight keeps their upright posture stable and steady, while uneducated generals and leaders are oftentimes tripped up and toppled over by their innate foolishness. For they establish their lofty power upon a pedestal that has not been leveled, and so it cannot stand upright. Moreover, just as a builder's rule is first established straight and unbending, and then is used to correct the alignment of everything else through adjustments and juxtapositions with respect to it, in the very same way, those who govern must first achieve governance of themselves, straighten out their souls, and set their character aright, and then they should assimilate their subjects to themselves. For the one who is tipping over cannot straighten up someone else, nor can the ignorant person teach, the disorderly establish order, the disorganized organize, the ungoverned govern. But most leaders misunderstand this, thinking instead that the greatest benefit in governing is the freedom from being governed themselves. Take the king of the Persians, for instance. He believed that everyone was his slave except for his wife, over whom he ought especially to have been the master. 3. Who, then, will govern the governor? The law which is king of everyone, both mortals and immortals, as Pindar says. But I'm not referring to a law that has been written in books or on any wooden tablets to be read, but I mean reason, which exists within those who govern, always accompanying and guarding their souls, and never allowing them to lack guidance. Now, the Persian king assigned to one of his attendants this task, to come to him at dawn and to say, "Arise, O king, and attend to the matters that the great Ahura Mazda wants you to attend to." But this voice is always present within educated and self-controlled leaders, speaking out and exhorting them. Polemon used to say that erotic love was a service of the gods intended for the care and well-being of young people. One might more truly say that those who govern serve God for the care and well-being of their fellow humans, with the aim of dispersing some of the noble and good gifts that God grants and protecting the rest. Do you see this boundless sky, up on high and enfolding the earth in its soft embrace? The sky sends down the beginnings of the necessary seeds, while the earth yields them up. Some will grow from rain, others from wind, and others when warmed on their surface by the stars and moon. And the sun arranges everything, and mixes its own charm into all that grows. But of the good gifts which the gods give, gifts that are so great and so many, there is no enjoyment or proper use of them that is separate from law and justice, and a leader. Justice, in fact, is the aim of the law, and law is the work of the leader.